Welcome to this introduction to Shine, the new Sunday school curriculum from MennoMedia. This Sunday school year is fast approaching, and we're excited that you've chosen to share your time, energy, passion, and gifts through nurturing children in your congregations. My name is Carrie Martens, and I'm the pastor of faith formation over at Stirling Avenue Mennonite Church in Kitchener. But my first love is teaching Sunday school. There's nothing like gathering a group of young children and hearing their spontaneous reflections to a Bible story, or finding yourself in sacred spaces as genuine prayers are being shared. Over at MCEC, we thought it might be helpful if we gave Sunday school teachers just a brief introduction to Shine. So today I'm going to take you on a walk through the Shine curriculum website to make sure you have all the info you need to start off with this fall. So let's begin. If you'd like to know all the wonderful and thoughtful work that forms the foundation for the curriculum you hold in your hands, you'll want to check out the foundational documents under the About tab. Here you can read all about Shine's guiding scripture texts, theological convictions, and beliefs about faith formation. I love that Shine is clear and upfront about the perspective that they bring to faith formation with children and youth. If you're curious about the broader scope of the curriculum, what will be covered when, check out the Bible outlines. You can see here that we have a very broad biblical themes chart, but if you scroll down, there's also detailed outlines for all 3 years of the curriculum. These are the same outlines that you receive quarter by quarter in the front of your teacher's guide. At our church, we occasionally need to rearrange the schedule to make room for special events or Sundays when we won't have Sunday school classes. So I love being able to see the entire year's outline in order to plan ahead. And again, under the About tab, Bible Memory provides you with all of the Bible memory verses for the entire first year. They're also available in a PDF form. So you're sitting down with your new curriculum book. Now what? Sometimes picking up new curriculum is overwhelming. There are so many options. Let's explore the parts of each lesson by going to the session overview found under the For Leaders tab. A good place to start your session preparation is with the parts that are meant for your own spiritual nurture. Each lesson includes a prayer for you, a purpose statement that gives you a sense of why you'll be looking at a particular biblical story, a teaching tip that can help you focus on faith formation, and the all-important Dig Deeper section. Dig Deeper can give you background on the Bible story for your lesson, but not only that, it helps you to place the story in the larger context of the biblical story, which can be a challenge for all of us. The stories we study don't stand completely on their own. They're part of a much larger story, and it's helpful for us to continually grow our own understanding of how it all fits together. Sitting down to plan our Sunday school lessons can become a regular spiritual practice that grows our understanding of what it means to nurture faith, our own, and the faith of the children and youth in our care. Before we get to the nuts and bolts of the lesson, I just want to point out that while there are a lot of components to each session, you don't need to use them all. Some churches have a Sunday school session that is 1.5 hours long, while others have 30 or 45 minutes, so choose the components that will be most helpful in growing the faith of the children in your group. So planning your session. Let's first take a brief look at the sidebars in your teacher's manual. Here you have quick and easy lists of supplies, preparation tasks, and suggestions for media connections that you might like to explore to add creativity and relevance to your session. Then we have all the main session components. You might notice that these components aren't numbered. That means things are flexible. You can move things around to work for you and your class. Feel free to use the material in ways that connect with your group. Curriculum is meant to be adapted. The first component is gather. When you first gather your group, you might want to do some community building through a gathering activity, some Bible memory, worship rituals and singing, or a spiritual practice. Again, you don't have to do all of these, and some of them might fit well at a different point in your session, particularly the spiritual practices, which are new in the Shine curriculum. These practices help children and their teachers to pay attention to God's activity in their lives and show them ways that they can shine their light to others. Often they'll take the form of prayer, and while they may feel uncomfortable or awkward initially, with time they can become a significant way of engaging with God. Leading children in these practices has actually become my favorite part of teaching Sunday school. The next main section is experience. This is really the center of your time with your group. Everything else can be built around this component. Here you have the opportunity to do some creative storytelling using the new Shine Story Bible if you're working with older children, or the story pictures for early childhood. There's also a chance to do some wondering and reflecting about the story. And I'd encourage you to make as much space for this as possible, even if it means letting go of your carefully planned lesson. One of my classes spent 15 minutes sharing about where they noticed God's presence in their lives, and a child in another class asked me a question so complex I had to go and ask a seminary professor for help. When children are given space to ask questions or reflect, they'll often go deep. The piece notes are also found in this section, since they can help make connections between the story and everyday life. But again, these can be moved around, combined with a response activity, or used at the beginning to focus in the gathering time. Piece notes are new to our curriculum, and what I love is that they're created using the Old Testament understanding of shalom. So they're not only about nonviolence, they're about whole and right relationships with God, self, others, and creation. The next component is Explore. This section is all about creating space for children and youth to respond to what they've experienced through the biblical story. In the Explore section, you'll find a number of different ways of responding that pay attention to the different learning styles and spiritual types that are part of being a diverse community. Some of them will be more active, while others might be more contemplative or reflective. Using a variety of responses over a quarter will ensure that all children and youth have the opportunity for meaningful engagement with God through Scripture. The final component is Bless. Here you have options for how you'd like to send your children back out into the world of school, play, and relationships. You can send them out with words of blessing, with song, or with prayer. This component also includes a quote from a Sunday school teacher that can inspire and bless you as you move out of your classroom and into the week, as well as a prayer that helps you reflect and reminds you of God's presence and the importance of the work that you do. Many of you may have noticed that some aspects of Shine are very similar to its predecessor, Gather Round, while others are quite different. If you're curious about all the differences, take a look at the frequently asked questions under the About tab. If you scroll down, you'll find how is Shine different from its predecessor, Gather Round. My favorite part of Shine is the intentional focus on the inner spiritual life of the child, which is nurtured through weekly spiritual practices, and the outer life of mission and peacemaking, which is nurtured through weekly peace notes. Some extra helps that you might want to explore are extras under the For Leaders tab. This is a place where you can find extra downloadable helps such as recipes, tips, and reproducible pages. Another awesome family resource that's available on the Shine site can be found in the Music section under the For Leaders tab. Each quarter, 4 of the songs from the Shine CD for early childhood will be available for free download, so young children can learn the music and share it with their families at home. We are marching in the light of God. Finally, I just want to highlight the book called Shine Together that you can find under the Products tab. Shine Together is the essential guide for leaders and teachers, and it's really an invaluable resource for all Sunday school teachers. It provides wonderful reflection questions to help you grow as a leader, ideas for building community within your group, as well as ideas for creating worship space and interactive storytelling. There's also an entire section with instructions for 27 different ways to pray with your group, everything from reciting scripture to breath prayers and even prayer doodling.